Hello, this is Mrs. Schaefer. I just wanted to help you quickly with the lab report. You will want to use the information in the course to help you with the instructions. You can also use parts of it here because I won't delete anything out, but it will go pretty quick. So unless you have your pause going and using that actively, you will want to check out the walkthrough recording also, which will go into some more detail about the virtual lab itself. This is just to help with the lab report, which you will find in the 1.05 under Unit 1. So it's Unit 1, Chapter 1, Lesson 5. And you'll want to download and use that information to help you. Remember, this file you must download. You cannot edit it where it is. You need to download the document, do a download as, and then you'll want to put your name on there and save it. Do a save as and put your name at the end, your last name at the end. So there's instructions in the course that will help you with that. This is just to help you answer the lab report questions. The first question, you do want to read all this information in here. It's definitely going to help you, and you want to read your content because it's going to help you also. So right here, it's going to talk about what we're doing. We want to state our hypothesis. In this case, I am giving you the conditions. So you will be rewriting your hypothesis as an if-then statement using this information. So I could reword it as if the drop height increases, the bounce height will, and then you pick increase, decrease, or stay the same. So that's just helping you out so you get the full points for that. We will be collecting data, and you'll want to understand how the data is being measured. But before that, I want to talk about the energy. We talked about how physical science is the study of matter and energy. So we need to look at the energy types. In this case, you're asked to define or pick which type of energy is being used. So we have the two head categories. We have kinetic energy and potential energy. And underneath are the subcategories of which types of energies are kinetic and which types are potential. So here is an example of how you can answer the question. Please remember that all lab reports must be in full sentences so that you can get all your points. We need to remember that no one is a mind reader, so we want to label things correctly. If you just, say, for example, if I just say sound and stored mechanical, I have no clue what that means. I can guess as to what it means. You're trying to answer the question, but I don't know which you're applying to which situation. So please use the sentence hint to help you out, and then you can label whether it is a potential energy or kinetic, also along with what type of energy is being used. So there's an example to help you out. So starting with question 3, we need to start collecting data on going into the lab. Though, again, like I said, the walkthrough video will help you, but the instructions are posted in the course and you can see them here. You would need to use the pause. We do need to complete this data to help us answer the next questions. So we need to record our results and then we need to answer the questions following it. So question 4, dependent variable and independent variable. Here is a starter example sentence for you. Whoops, my slides are flipping on me. And then you can also use this to help you out. Hint, we're graphing the dependent variable and the independent variable. You just have to figure out which one is which using your readings. There is 3 or 4 ways that you can graph this material. There are helps in the lesson. Get them. Use them to help you out. There's a lot of points on this graph, and we graph all year long. that is the difference between 1 grade point each time if you don't graph the data. So you don't want to lose those points. It's once you figure it out, it's easy. Figuring out can be a little bit challenging, and I know that it's a new skill for you, but that is part of the reason that this lab is so simple in collecting the data, is because we're really practicing the graphing. All right, and then we want to answer our last question 6, which comes after the data graphing. We collect the data, then we graph it, and then we look at patterns. So in question 6, we're going to analyze our data. Let's compare it back to our hypothesis. And notice there are 3 parts to this question. That means you need to have 3 parts to your answer. Make sure you use your data. So you're going to restate your hypothesis. That's just a cut and paste. And then you're going to say, does this match the graph or the data collected or not? And then your evidence, because we supply everything with evidence, is using data points. So you're going to compare some of your data points to say, hey, look, I noticed that when I dropped the golf ball at this height, this is the bounce height, but when I dropped the plastic ball or whatever ball it is that we're comparing at the same drop height, this is what I noticed. Then you're going to look at your graph and determine what relationship there is. To do that, you're going to need the graph interpretation guide, which is in your course. You're going to decide whether it's a direct relationship, no relationship, or an inverse relationship. So use that graph, figure out which one you're closest to. In the graph interpretation guide, there's several graphs there that you can look at to determine which one your data matches. Then our last question is a prediction. We're going to use a trend line. Again, how to do a trend line? Check your graph how-tos. You need to insert a trend line on your graph. That's a line that you can use that will line up. Some of the points will be below and above the data line. So it's kind of creating an average, and then you're going to go beyond your data points to determine a prediction. Predict what would happen at 120 centimeters. Our measuring stick only went up to 100, so we can't actually do it, but we can predict it based on the pattern that we already see. So to get the full points for this, you need to have your trend line on your graph and then answer the question for there. So again, needing help with the trend line, see the graph how-tos. Then you'll save that document and turn it in. You can turn in more than one copy. If you want to fix it up and fix an answer, then just open up that document and redo, fix up what you want to, and then resubmit it for a better grade. I hope that helps. Have a great day.